Yahweh is willing to hit and destroy our idols so severely, so demonstratively, that we realize they are death and not life. So be prepared for the severe hand of Yah against that which stands against him. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 4 of Torah portion Va'era, and I appeared. Let's go into Shemot or Exodus chapter number 8. Now, my opening remark should help us to understand that just as Yah in that day, the day of Moshe versus Pharaoh, Am Israel looking for deliverance, Yah had to act in a very severe fashion, no holds barred, a very powerful display of his outstretched arm, not only to effect deliverance of Israel from the bondage of Mitzrayim, but also to destroy the illusions that were attached to Mitzrayite gods that deceived Hebrew minds had become tolerant and accepting, even excusing of. Much like them, we today, we excuse our idols. We prefer to call them something other than an idol. We have made tolerant excuses for the way that we accept things that Yah does not accept. Not pleasant words to hear, but I feel and sense the presence of Yah as I say these things to you. And Yah is trying desperately to get our attention. Let's make it easy for him. So Yah has acted in a very powerful way, and it has not yet worked, at least not in Pharaoh's mind. He has already attacked Hapi, H-A-P-I, the god of the Nile, turned it into blood, that which is unclean. Now he attacks the goddess Heqt, H-E-Q-T, if you will, which is represented by a toad or a frog. It is a symbol of fertility. Ancient worlds were all about fertility. And so frogs had appeared everywhere as if fertility was everywhere, and then they died and they stank. The land was polluted with them, and the stench was overwhelming and unbearable. Yah is revealing to all who are willing to see, your gods are death, and they stink. They are repulsive. So the symbolism of life from the Nile and resurrection of fertility and the continuance of life as represented by these false demon gods, their death. What's interesting, and I quickly want to go here, I don't want to camp here but just a moment. In the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12 through 16, if you'll go there and read that, you'll see that the Euphrates River is dried up and frogs come up out of the mouths, or demons or prophets or out of the mouths of these horrendous frog-like creatures. I call them frog prophets. Here's the message of the frog prophets to the leadership of nations in the earth. That you need to go against Israel, be gathered in your awesome might and military prowess, and assemble in the valley of Megiddo, and you can overtake Israel. Let me be very, very clear in what I'm about to say. All of the tensions in the earth and a variety of nations, the United States included, may seem like that they are totally disconnected from Israel. But once the grand plan of these kings that are assembling against Yah and against his Messiah, according to Psalms chapter number 2, their scheme and their goal is to ultimately possess the land of Israel. And you would wonder why. Well, I can tell you why. Yah is taking his hook put it in their jaw like he does Russia, and he's going to pull them down out of the variety of directions and assemble them there because he is going to judge them there. While you and I are praying through current days and asking for a miracle, for a turnaround, for a change, for something dramatic to happen, Yah is polishing his hooks. He's going to set his hooks. And the nations that have shook their fist and defied him, one time too many. There is a time that Yah will judge and will judge with mercy, but there are days where mercy will no longer be offered. And Yah will offer to mankind the full extent of his wrath because of man's pollution, because of his evil, because of the devious means by which he lords over those that are beneath him. Our sins are too many to count, and they reach up too high. And can I just tell you, Yah has had enough. Judgment times are now in season. And so the frog prophets, they have been prophesying from the United States State Department, from some White Houses, from the UN, from Europe, from France, and Britain in particular, from Russia, and especially from the Arab world, that Israel must concede land for peace. The UN passed Resolution 2334. The BDS movement is that about boycotting and divesting and sanctioning Israel to bring her into compliance with worldview. Do you notice the theme here? It's all about you must comply. You must align yourself with the New World Order agenda, or else we're going to take away your liberties, your freedoms, your exercise rights, and you're going to find yourself hemmed in and no longer allowed to do what you need to do. So is their threat. Can I tell you, our Yah has paid attention. He's heard their threats. He's got something for them. Don't doubt my words. He's got something for them. Now, it's also interesting that the next plague after the frogs was gnats. Now, there's a variety of translations here, but gnats come up out of the dust. What is dust? Well, that's man material. That's what you and I are made out of. It is a pestilence of our flesh. Notice with me also that the bloody water, the unclean frogs, and the pestilence of flesh showed up in Goshen among the Hebrews as well. Why would Yah do that? He's going to make a line of distinction after this where the plagues no longer show up to Israel, but he allowed these three. This is a call of the Most High to his people. You're going to experience the initial outpourings of judgment so that you understand you, like a bloody rag, you are unclean. You must return. You must turn from your uncleanness. Get rid of the things that defile you. Number two, the things that give you hope for fertility. And I'm not talking about just birthing children here. I'm talking about your increase, your monetary increase, your reputation increase, the grandeur of man. Understand that it's death. It stinks. And then also the pestilence of your flesh. Get rid of the things that are flesh driven from your flesh that drive and compel you. In the book of Proverbs, there is a verse that says, there is a way that appears right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. That's stated twice in the book of Proverbs. Yah's trying to wake us up, folks. Don't be discouraged and overwhelmed and dismayed at current events and things that are going on. Let them turn your heart to the Most High. Get your mind and your heart on the King. Get right with Him. Be pure before Him. You don't want a hook in your jaw. Let that be for somebody else. We'll finish up tomorrow, and until then, shalom.